Who are we? Why are we here? And where are we going? For thousands of years we've been asking these questions, and the answer has always been in the vein of, only God knows. Imagine being born in 600 BC. Almost everything in the form of tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes was blamed on the god, or the gods, or the spirits. And to appease these gods, sacrifices were made. But now these phenomena can be explained simply because man's evolutionary development has led to greater intelligence, deeper logic, and a greater ability to reason. Where this intelligence has been sadly lacking, though, is in the understanding of ourselves and what makes us tick. I believe that part of the reason for this has been the stranglehold of religion and the fear of God that surrounds us. But slowly, as man wakes up, he's letting go of this. Everything that happens to him, he is discovering, is not the will of God, but of the ignorance of who he is, of the ignorance of his mind, and the ignorance of his emotions. Our society, our religion, our beliefs are riddled with statements which we accept without questioning. And as a package, these statements become our beliefs, which then create our own reality. That reality becomes our comfort zone or our anxiety zone, and therefore our truth. And we might spend an entire lifetime without questioning them. If this is you, someone who's content to live life without seeking more truth, then the site isn't for you. Mankind has an evolutionary drive towards transcendence, towards eros, love, to seek more truth. And we see this in the growth of humanitarian efforts over the last 1,000 years. In this drive to grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, we find that the beliefs that we have been operating under start to fail us, in that life no longer works for us. It's time to seek deeper meanings to allow our consciousness to unfold further. This site isn't about blindly sucking in what you hear from me, but about looking at the logic of what I'm presenting. Does it stand up to logic? Do your fixed beliefs stand up to logic? And more importantly, do you want them to? This is important because we can either choose between fact or belief. And by fact, I mean something completely observable. When we die, something leaves. That is a fact. It's also a truth. If a theory or a belief cannot be proved in the world of practical living, then it has had no value except in theory. Can our evolutionary development be proved in the world of practical living along with logic? Any scientific method needs to proceed from the known to the unknown, and particularly from the facts and from direct experience to the formulation and interpretation of what has been observed and experienced. I know that many people who just heard me say this will be freaking out, as science to them is like a, stay away from me. But if we want to understand more deeply why we are the way we are, who we are, why we are here, and where we are going, it has to be based on the closest we can get to pure reason. The first thing we need to recognize is that we are, each one of us, on a different level of consciousness or awareness. Humanity is becoming more aware And with that comes intelligence and compassion. We just have to look at how we treated children in the 16th century, which I discuss in my video, Why We Are the Way We Are, to see how far we've come. Abraham Maslow recognized this evolutionary development, and in 1943 put together his hierarchy of needs theory. What this scale indicates is humanity's drive for survival through spiritual growth by fulfilling its needs. We only have to look at the third world and some people of the first world to see that millions are struggling at the bottom levels for the basic necessities of life. Overcoming those, they move to the next area of needs, of safety, then belonging, then self-esteem, until finally they reach self-actualization. Ken Wilber expanded on Maslow's hierarchical needs triangle in 2002 and, along with his colleagues, put together an overview of development of the stages of consciousness. Ken Wilber, one of the leading philosophers of the 21st century, is often referred to as the Einstein of consciousness. I would like you to stop the video here, as I will stop talking, so you can absorb these different levels at your own speed of understanding, and perhaps try to locate where you are on them. And then look around you at others, and even your own family members, to see how your awareness differs from them. Moving forward from stage 1 and encompassing the drives within it is the natural progression of an evolutionary scale of our consciousness towards stage 6 and above. Take some time and see if you can refute this scale and find fault with it. You might find a disagreement with one or two of the qualities of the stages and feel that they should be elsewhere. But overall, the theory holds. We cannot take someone at stage 2 and put him in a position of responsibility to that of a stage 6 and expect him to live up to the values of that stage. Similarly, we cannot take someone at a stage 6 and expect them to relate to the dictates of a stage 2. What this evolutionary stage of consciousness shows is the increasing awareness of our soul away from who we think we are, a personality, which is the fundamental idea behind worldwide acceptance of transpersonal psychology. I cover the understanding of the differences of these two, soul and personality, which you will find in the premium section of the site. The videos that follow this one will hopefully help you understand what Socrates said, know thyself. Only now we are using pure reason, love, wisdom, and consciousness and science to bring this about. It is important to watch the videos in sequence, but it is essential to watch why we are the way we are, to get the missing piece of so much of our confusion next. Let me leave you with a question. What do you think goes on above stage 6, and how far does or should I say your, future consciousness extend? Thanks for watching.